Blessings Halftime TV viewers and subscribers. Welcome to another episode, and today we're going to switch it up a little bit. Now, you know the first round of games in the Gold Cup, they're now completed. And what good would we be if we didn't come on here and give you our assessment of the first round? Lessons learned kind of thing. What did we take away from those first set of games, and who are the teams that we should be looking out for going into match day 2? And mind you, match day 2 starts later on today. Before I go any further in this video, remember, smash the like button and subscribe to Halftime TV if you enjoy the content that we're producing. And also, remember to keep the conversation going beneath these videos. Okay? Alright, let's get into it. Now, the first game that we saw was Mexico versus Dominican Republic. And I know going into this game, Mexico was the overwhelming favorite. Mind you, Mexico has won more Gold Cup than any other team. So, naturally, going into a game against Dom Rep, who I think this is their first Gold Cup, one would expect it to be a mauling. That wasn't the case though, because Dominican Republic, they came out and they played some good football. And although they lost on the day to Mexico, I believe in the end it was 3-2 or somewhere there, I think Dominican Republic should be considered one of the winners of this round. They played good, crisp, quality football, and although Mexico won the game, I know Dom Rep won a lot of our hearts. This wasn't one of the games that they'd be going into and thinking, okay, this is a game that we must win. You know, usually in tournament football, there are games that teams try their best not to lose, and there are some teams that even surrender some games. So they bypass those games and they look towards games that they actually think they have a closer match with, or games that they think they have a more realistic chance of winning or actually getting points from. Dominican Republic, that first game against Mexico, I must say you captured not only my heart, but the hearts of a whole lot of other football fans. And as such, I'm putting you in the winners column from match day 1. Second, mind you, Mexico is one of the winners as well, because naturally Mexico won the game, so I have to put them over in the winners column. Secondly, I'm going to put the United States over in the winners column, because they beat Trinidad and Tobago. And I'll get to Trinidad and Tobago later down, because I want to speak about them as one of the losers, and I'll speak about them at length. I won't go too much into that game, Trinidad and Tobago versus the United States of America, but safe to say 5-0 victory on the day. USC squad, that in and of itself tells its own story. The next game, Costa Rica versus Suriname. Now, Suriname isn't one of those names that pop out at you when you think about football. Costa Rica, on the other hand, they produce footballers that have played for the biggest clubs in the world. Speaking of Keylor Navas, who's played for Real Madrid and PSG, etc. Still between the sticks for Costa Rica. But Costa Rica versus Suriname, that game was very close, and it actually was decided by a stoppage time penalty, because at 90 minutes it was 3-3. Suriname, have to put you in the winners column. Although you lost to a stoppage time goal, still have to put you in the winners column, because of what the expectations were coming into the tournament, as well as the competition that you were up against. And there are some who will come in the comment section and say Costa Rica is way past their best, and Joel Campbell and Brian Ruiz and all these guys who used to keep Costa Rica afloat, they're no longer there. So, like, why are we still having Costa Rica in the conversation as one of the top teams in CONCACAF? Let me answer that. Because they actually are. Big up to Suriname. Big game for you. I know you lost in the end, but you gave a commendable performance, and I have to put you in the winners column. Curacao and El Salvador. I think, I don't know where to put these two. Curacao and El Salvador. Alright. Let's hear, I don't know. Viewers, here's what. Curacao and El Salvador. You tell me where you'd put both of these teams. In the end, it was a 0-0 draw. I don't know where to put them, if it's in the winners column or in the losers column. They're very close as it relates to FIFA ranking. Curacao is 90, El Salvador is 81. So one would expect it to be a close game. But where would you put them, viewers and subscribers? Let's hear it. Put it below. Let me know where you'd put El Salvador and where you'd put Curacao. Winners column or losers column from match day 1. Next up, we have Panama, and Panama got the business done from the first half. In the second half, when they came out, it was more about managing the game, and although Guadeloupe tried to mount a late comeback, it wasn't enough, because Panama had already done the work from the first half. And as such, I'm going to put Panama in the winners column. Now, finally, we are going to speak about Canada. And in my opinion, Canada was the most impressive team from the first round of games. Why do I say this? Canada didn't have their coach on the sideline. They didn't have Alphonso Davies. Steven Eustáquio is at the FIFA Club World Cup with Porto. And these three players, well, two players and coach, are two of the most important players in the Canadian team. On the day, Jonathan David, who is one of the top strikers in Europe, he didn't score on the day, but Canada still managed to get 6 goals. So let that soak in. Two of the most important players didn't play. The coach still facing a touchline ban, and their top striker didn't get on the score sheet. A brace by Tejan Buchanan, big up the entire Brampton Massive, meant Canada was cruising. And on the flip side, Honduras wasn't able to lay a glove. The Canadian team, they look fit, they were quick, they got to every ball first, and for those that they didn't get to first, they were challenging for those second balls. And overall, I think it was a complete, comprehensive beating by the Canadian team when they went up against Honduras. We expected it to be closer. That wasn't the case. It was a mauling. Embarrassing, really, on the part of the Honduras team. But those are the winners that I have for you folks. If you disagree, if you agree, let me know down below. Now let's get to the losers. First and foremost, I want to speak about Jamaica. And we want to speak about Jamaica because going into the game, there was high confidence levels. Jamaica expected it to be a game similar to the game that they played at the National Stadium. And over here at Halftime TV, we kept reminding the viewers that, hey, Guatemala made a number of changes ahead of that Jamaica game, so let's not get carried away. Jamaica beat them 3-0 at the National Stadium, but consider the team that Jamaica played, Guatemala's B team. Let's not get carried away. Quite frankly, they didn't heed and they got carried away. And as such, they got a Bob Marley special on match day 1 from the Guatemala team. And the player that we have been telling them about, yep, Oscar Santos, he was the one who got on the score sheet. Jamaica, I think Jamaica has to be on the losers column from match day 1, not because they lost the game, but because the opposition that they played against, they underestimated them. Jamaica has all the quality in the world, but decision making from the coach and from some of the players as well cost them that first game. And as such, shift over to the loser side, Jamaica. Secondly, I have Trinidad and Tobago. Now, Trinidad and Tobago and the fans of Trinidad and Tobago football, they have been coming at Halftime TV left, right, and center, over on TikTok, everywhere. They've been basically lambasting us, saying, hey, we're getting too arrogant and Trinidad is going to give Jamaica, pardon my language, but a cut ass. Where are they now? Where are they now? I know Jamaica lost, but Trinidad is too focused on Jamaica. Focus on the games that you have in front of you. Please do not focus. For the fans, this is for the fans. Focus on your own team and on the opposition that you're up against. Stop focusing on the Jamaican fans. Okay? As for the team, Clint Dempsey said this was one of the worst Trinidad and Tobago teams he had seen in his lifetime, and he thought even at his age he would have gotten a couple of goals against Trinidad and Tobago. So that's how bad Trinidad was on the day. I know Dwight York is still getting his feet under the table, but did the decision come too close to the World Cup qualifiers? One of my friends and one of our colleagues here at Halftime TV indicated that after the Goldcup, he will have a better opinion, a better idea of what Dwight York wants to do with this Trinidad team. Quite frankly, based on where I'm sitting, Dwight York wants to take a lot of bag up, and that's what's happening. A lot of bag up, a lot of welcomes. I don't know, but yeah, Trinidad over on the losers side with Jamaica. We're putting you over here on the losers side. And last but not least, Honduras. Honduras played against Canada last evening, and quite frankly, I think Honduras, they might as well not show up. Yeah, they might as well not show up because there were only jerseys on the pitch yesterday. We didn't see any player. But I can't pick out one player on that Honduras team that would make it into maybe my corner league team. And that's, I don't know, I was gonna say no disrespect meant, but I know there's no nice way of putting it. So people may very well take it as disrespectful. But the Honduras team, they didn't look like they were professional footballers. They weren't fit. They were chasing. They looked, I don't know, they just looked lost. But again, that's Halftime TV's view. Let's hear what you, the viewers and subscribers, have to say. Who do you have as the biggest losers from match day one, and who were the biggest winners? You've heard what we think. Now let's share what you think. Remember, like, share, subscribe. Until next time, peace out.